A very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us for the UBC Weekly Roundup News Edition. My name is Wadulo Arnold, and I'm going to be taking you for the next 1 hour, so do sit tight and do not move a muscle. That is if you missed the news within the week. Now, in our first story, the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has reminded communities of Acholi sub-region to engage in productive activities since billions of monies are now lying idle at parishes. The President was officiating the welcome and thank you party of the newly appointed Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Dr. Lilian Aber, in Kitgum District. More details in the story.
To the field, it's more of celebrations, gratitude, and the people of Acholi, the people of Northern Region and the entire country are in Kitgum today to express their happiness, to express their gratitude, and to celebrate with me. This is where I was born, where I grew up from, and it is only worth that I brought this celebration back home.
That was Honorable Lydia Nabar's address to the media before she stepped out of her residence for a Thanksgiving ceremony, a journey which was lit up by a procession in Kitgum town.
But in the security forces include...
At Kitgum Institute grounds, the thank you event venue, Lydian was received by traditional dancers. Already at the venue were dignitaries including ministers, members of parliament, religious leaders and service chiefs.
This is how the NRM wants Ugandans excited, happy, proud of their leadership, and we want to take this opportunity to thank the President for testifying before Ugandans that he's very inclusive about the young people and very intentional.
So this is a joyous moment for the people of Kitgum, because it is a demonstration also of the confidence in their vote, but also to give an opportunity to their daughter.
This is the right person for Acholi region to mobilize for the youth, women and children.
Right now, in the office of the Prime Minister, we welcome her with two hands, because we know most of the Lord work we shall now be sharing with her.
The prayer dedication of Minister Lydia Nabar was done by clergy.
God, bless your daughter, Lilian Aber. It demystified the mystery that leadership only comes from a wealthy family. And she can be assured that the beauty of her job is that she has got Mao there to support her. She's got Hillary Onek to support her. She's got Akori to support her. She's got me to support her. She's got Biti Sanywa to support her. So we will give her all the necessary support to ensure that she receives a soft landing. And I would like to confirm that we shall work very closely with Honorable Dr. Lilian Aber, and will mentor. I will try my best with my experience to mentor her in that position, given the experience I had acquired over the years.
On her behalf, Dr. Lydian Aber thanked President Museveni for this elevation.
To thank God for the favors He has bestowed and showered upon me. Your presence here today is a manifestation of your grandfatherly, fatherly and parental qualities you possess in abundance, Your Excellency.
Aber therefore promises dedicating herself to this appointment.
I am under obligation to thank you for entrusting me with a ministerial position in the cabinet of Uganda, not any other country, but Uganda. I'm extremely indebted to you, and I want to pledge before my people, before my parents, before my kinsmen, before my religious leaders here today, that I will never at any one point let you down, Your Excellency.
For the chief guest, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni preached development in his entire address.
Now there is PDM.
Kumbitichani bere parish development model chenne machero bodwa wai parish million mia chele magamento kele.
With the PDM money,
me parish development model.
We are sending 100 million per parish each year. And if we see
100 families this year, 100 families the next year. If we think the speed is not enough, we can go back, discuss with our people in Parliament and make it 200 million instead of 100 million. We can increase it, but let us start and let us see success.
The President also tasked the RDC Kituguman Chief Administrative Officer to shed light about the PDM funds after locals negated about the program.
RDC Kitugum Kao Kitugum Binokan.
19th of April, which is 3,618 million.
You give how many households?
7,045 households.
7,000.
Yes.
Reacting to concerns raised by leaders, President Museveni directed Uganda Tourism Board to work closely with concerned parties to handle the matter of penetration of elephants into the community. The request to start up skilling hubs at the lower levels hit a dead end, as this was rejected by the President on grounds of limited resources. The event was closed by the ceremony of receiving opposition supporters who have willingly joined the NRM party and a photo moment by a section of attendees of this party. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kitugum.
Now this week, leaders in Greater Ankole commended President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for his skill vision of the youth in the region in order to curb unemployment. Now this was at a graduation ceremony of 507 students who acquired vocational skills at Greater Ankole Zonal Industrial Hub located in Mukor Village, Rushozi Sub-County in Mbarara District. Now, students from the second and the third intakes completed their vocational training and were awarded certificates in leather processing, shoemaking, tailoring and designing, bakery and confectionery, among other skills. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni this week on Thursday afternoon officially opened the Nachibo War Memorial Stadium to public use. The stadium has been under construction for more than 6 years and will accommodate different games, including football, basketball, netball and boxing. Details in this report.
After years of refurbishment, Ham's Nachivo Stadium, that is miles better than the original facility, has been commissioned and opened for use. The humble duty was performed by the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who applauded the proprietor, Hamis Chigundu, to whom a 49-year lease was granted. The President toured the 30-seater facility that is now officially a multi-purpose stadium with netball, basketball and boxing and some others to benefit. President Museveni applauded Hamis Chigundu, who he exemplified as a true patriot who is intent on ensuring Buy Uganda, Build Uganda is a reality.
I want to congratulate and thank Hamis Chigundu for the good work he has done here by being innovative and knowing that you can get prosperity in Uganda. This is what we have been telling you. Why? Because NRA was a Ugandan product. It was not a product from UK, from KAR, from no. Amajiga Uganda. Now, that spirit of self-sufficiency, we have put it in economics, we have put it in politics. And thank Chigundu, because he has been able to show that attitude, not only in this project, but even in other projects.
In its old state, Nachibo Stadium was the country's only facility before Mandela National Stadium and was opened in 1926 to honor Uganda's World War veterans. The stadium proprietor, Hamis Chigundu, thanked the president for the trust and vowed to ensure the stadium lives to its intention of providing home to sports.
And Your Excellency, I'm so humbled for the fact that ever since I left in 2014, that was December, I've always had your support and your blessing. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. We've had a lot of hardships here and there, but within the perimeters of reason, it would be unjustified for me to simply narrate the story of the hardships I've had when I've got such a project today being commissioned by His Excellency. For I take it for an obligation as a Ugandan that it is my own responsibility to devote myself, but at the same time, develop my country collectively.
The following discipline, Your Excellency, will be undertaken here with immediate effect. Number one, football. The games of football will begin immediately after this commissioning. Number two, Your Excellency, is basketball. Behind us there is a basketball court. That also will begin immediately. Number three, on your direct face, Your Excellency, on that other goalpost, we have a netball court there. The game of netball will be played here. Your Excellency, boxing. You visited a boxing ring inside here. And Your Excellency, you know the history better than I. It's well known that very many boxers who have represented this country come from Kisenyi area here. And I want to thank him for again reinventing the wheel of the game of boxing. Because now here we will be able to have a gym and a boxing ring which will allow other international competitions to get back to Uganda.
Nachibo Stadium has undergone renovation several times, notably in 1954 and 2013, before this state-of-the-art improvement that has elevated it to a world-class status. In the short run, Nachibo Stadium is expected to address the ardent need to football clubs that lack home grounds. Its proximity to the city center makes it a viable target for many, and with many games now possible, business is likely to boom. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Thank you very much, Grace. Now, in more news from this week, Uganda Bureau of Statistics dispatched the first consignment of tablets to 9 districts of northern Uganda to be used in the National Population and Housing Census slated for the 10th of May 2024. The launching was flagged off by the Minister of Planning, Amos Lugolobi, and said that almost 80% has been achieved as far as preparation for the exercise is concerned.
The Census Warehouse for Storing Materials and Data Processing Center in Tinda was a hive of activity as iPad tablets were being packed for delivery to different parts of the country in preparation for the census exercise slated for 10th May 2024.
To the stage of provisioning where the application, census application that has the questionnaire, the enumerator's manual, census map for each enumeration area is undertaken. You have noted that each tablet has one map of a given enumeration area.
The first consignment that was flagged off by Minister of State for Planning, Amos Lugolobi, contained 3,410 tablets to be delivered to 6 districts of northern Uganda. The districts are Gulu District, Gulu City, Apach, Aleptong, Amolata and Otuke. The iPads are to be handed over to chief administrative officers in districts and city clerks who have to directly be responsible for their safety. Remuneration manuals have already been delivered to the districts.
Now at distribution, every enumerator will provide a national identification card their card and a NIN. We shall capture it. And these tablets, as the minister told you, are trackable. We have the device. So even if you tell us lies that they have stolen them, whoever will be having it will be caught. Assault, we shall first incapacitate them and recover them. These are government property. Whoever is found misusing this property or stealing it will pay for it.
On recruitment of enumerators, WOBOS cites a challenge of malpractice from local governments where people who did not do interviews are the ones being recruited. Government reminds the public that this is not a survey but a national census where they need to participate and provide information that will aid in planning for the country, hence provide necessary services.
The respondents, the people of Uganda, that this is their information that they submit to the enumerators is going to be kept in secret. It's confidential information. It's not going to be released to anyone, including the tax authorities in the country. The data is aggregated, and that's how we present it.
Tablets for about 71 districts out of 146 have been provisioned and ready for delivery. These districts include those in Kigezi, Ruchiga, Kabale, Rubanda, Chisoro and Rukunjiri. Mnavka Farida and Andrew Sebira in Kampala.
Now, the Ugandans seeking for greener pastures abroad have been urged to avoid involvement in protests once there. This message was conveyed by the chairman NRM Canada chapter, Fred Chinene, who called on Ugandans to register for the third NRM symposium slated for August this year.
The event will be held in Ottawa, the headquarters of Uganda's embassy in Canada, with an agenda of putting the ideology of sustainable development to the forefront, among other topics for Ugandans to discuss. NRM Canada chapter chairman Fred Chinene urged all Ugandans without discrimination and regardless of their political status to attend the conference.
Let us keep our community together. Let us be one. Let us still, even with parties can be on the side, but we can also be to work together as one person. So I call upon all our NRM cadres and all other people to come together.
Chinene urged Ugandans traveling to Canada to avoid getting involved in protests and thus slandering Uganda.
People who are demonstrating and you are still a protected person, please understand the Canadian law, my brother. Understand the Canadian law. You will be demonstrating and you are putting yourself in the face of the IRC, and you are putting yourself in the face of being denied for your papers because you are a protected person, and yet you are a person who never want to be protected.
A number of dignitaries and officials from Uganda are expected to be part of the team to attend.
For the NRM Canada Symposium this year are going on well. We are expecting a lot of people this time because we are in Ottawa, where many government officials and members of parliament from the Canadian government are there. It will be easier to access the venue. And then we have moved with our preparation with Honorable Nakadama. Is still in control or leading all ministers.
Now, as the world looks on the floods in Dubai where properties worth millions were destroyed, environmental activists in Uganda are saying that it is time for the nation to wake up in preserving the environment of Uganda. Now, action on building drainage system and tree planting should be taken, as this report shares with us.
Unprecedented torrential rains plagued parts of the United Arab Emirates underwater last week, bringing life to a standstill in Dubai and elsewhere. A fire hose of heavy rain gushed over a large portion of the UAE and Dubai, the country's most populous city, recording a year's worth of rain in just 12 hours, as areas further east recorded nearly 2 years' worth of rain in under 24 hours. Floodwaters rose quickly and were slow to recede as a result of the historic rains, which were extreme in the country since records began 75 years ago. Researchers claim that these floods should have been avoided. Religious leaders, on the other hand, say that the floods are a sign of Jesus' second coming. Zoe Ministry under Prophet Elvis Mbonye say that Prophet Mbonye foresaw these rains that would pound Dubai. In a recording dated 6th December, Mbonye is seen saying that the times have come when the people's glory will be exposed, that they will have to turn to the Lord.
Do you see Dubai there? Wait and see the news that is going to come from there. And you see, it's going to appear like, you mean all this has been fake? And I'm telling you, and that will be a sign for you to realize that in your midst, the Lord your God has positioned himself just for you to rise up and rely on what is more real.
In Uganda, however, researchers and climate change activists say it's time to preserve the environment, put up drainage systems, and plant trees to preserve the environment.
Especially we are expecting enhanced rainfall, meaning that we are expecting some good amount of rain, especially in the month of April. And what does it mean to the people of Waise? Because you know Waise is always a flooded area. So people here, they need to prepare, especially when these rains are coming. So they should actually know what is going to happen.
No. The environment is changing because our people are cutting trees for fuel. But we want to ensure that we advise them, we sensitize them to be able to preserve the environment, plant more trees, and not necessarily, bush burning has been very common, actually been a tradition here. So issues with bush burning should actually be stopped, and this goes a long way, ensure that we sensitize people on climate change.
Now, Ugandans are developing the saving culture. Apart from investing in properties, many are taking on saving in unit funds. Now, unlike before, when many saved in shillings, a dollar fund is taking its stride. Now, UBC TV hosts Mwebaze, the UAPO mutual boss, and highlights how successful the dollar unit trust fund has been. This is in our big interview.
When particularly talking about the dollar unit trust fund, which is the Old Mutual Dollar Fund, that was launched, I think it must have been on the 21st of September last year. And we've seen quite commendable growth in terms of, first of all, uptake, because it was the first of its kind, a purely dollar unit trust fund, first of its kind in this country. And also, given the fact that we don't have so many dollar assets within the country, and perhaps maybe that's why it took a while to launch. But in terms of uptake, we've seen, I think, commendable progress on the fund, because since inception, which was September, we've seen a growth of close to, I think, coming close to $20 million. We're probably lingering around $18 million or so. And I still think there is a lot more potential in this fund. And basically what the fund does is it provides an investment option for people who want to get exposure, or who want to invest in a hard currency. And in this case, the hard currency is the US dollar. The investor still has the flexibility, in the sense that whenever he wants the money, he can come for it, or he can withdraw it at any point in time. And simultaneously also they can add money from time to time. So the fund has been structured in such a way that for a minimum or an initial of $1,000 and a top-up of even as low as $100, an investor, whether an individual, an institution, a company, SME, even a small business, can be able to invest and get access to this fund. So minimum investment when someone is starting off is about $1,000, and they can make top-ups of at least $100 from time to time, and then be able to get these benefits with investing in hard currency and at a decent rate of return. By the way, the fund has also been returning quite strong from an investment performance point of view. I think since launching it, we've been above 5%. At a certain time when we had just launched, interest rates in the US were high, so we're able to get some good instruments based on that high pricing of dollar assets. And we've benefited of that. We know that the fund will continue performing even better because we have a very strong investment process, a sound investment team, and we are also cognizant of the risks that come with investing within the global scene and the global environment. So it's quite critical that we do our research very well and are able to source some of these investments timely and enter them, execute, and then be able to give a very good return. And that's a bit of what we've been able to demonstrate.
And yes, and that is as far as unit trust funds are concerned. Now, the High Commissioner of Pakistan in Uganda, His Excellency Mohammed Hassan Wazir, has said that Pakistan is committed to continuing supporting Uganda's education institutions in building capacity to tackle the burden and challenges of neurology healthcare gaps. The High Commissioner was represented by Bilal Abdul Mohsin during the opening of the day's workshop session in neurology and neuron critical care by the Standing Committee for Scientific and Technical Cooperation held at the Islamic University in Uganda in Kampala campus. The rector IUIU, Professor Ismail Jagenda, commended partners for the initiative, saying that neurology training in Africa faces many challenges such as lack in human resource, in subspecialization training and diagnosis.
Sessions are important in sharing knowledge and also interesting our students in wanting to further their knowledge in these critical areas of knowledge. As you all know, neurological and neurocritical care are very important and significant areas for research, and also we have a lot of people who are suffering from neurological disorders, so we need specialists in these areas, and we hope this workshop will highlight the importance of this area as well as interest our students in furthering their education in these areas.
We affirm our commitment to leveraging our collective efforts, expertise, resources to enhance neurology and neurocritical care services in Uganda and beyond. Let us work together to promote education, research, training initiatives and that empower healthcare professionals and improve patient outcomes. Furthermore, I'll urge all participants to seize this opportunity, especially the students, to exchange ideas, share best practices, learn from the best professors here, and foster lasting partnerships. Let us embrace innovation and embrace the challenges ahead with determination.
We are facilitators and we are very, very grateful.
As Uganda gears up to celebrate the International Labour Day, our reporter Haruna Mutesasira looks at child labour as the worst form of treatment to children being trapped in conflict areas in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He managed to put together a piece that is quite sensitive. If you do have a child, it's important that you watch it.
Vijana wanagonga na vijana wanagonga, vijana wanagonga na vijana wanagonga.
When a baby is born, everyone is happy because babies represent hope and new aspirations.
The first time you set your eyes on your baby, whether you're a father or a mother, there is that feeling you get that you cannot explain. It marks the genesis of a creating a new life that God has trusted you with.
The parenting experience can lead to a profound form of well-being because it creates a feeling of a life well lived.
The first baby you have as a mother or as a father is the sweetest thing in life.
Parents provide a supportive and inclusive environment that helps the child develop social emotional skills and feel a sense of belonging. However, conflicts in communities can affect a child's growth and suffer extensive form of exploitation and abuse. While parties in conflict situations expose children in domestic related violence, mainly squabbles, cooking, carrying goods, as guards, messengers, among other menial jobs.
You can easily tell the kind of child he or she is depending on where they come from. Most of these children are affected by the ways or by the situation within our homes.
Youth continue to demonstrate their desire to be active participants in their communities and have their voices heard. On 13th November 1996, a rebel group, the Allied Democratic Forces ADF, started attacks against Uganda, abducting and recruiting children into their rebel ranks. A number of children are trapped in the jungles of Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo in the worst form of child labor as a result of armed conflict. Boys are used as fighters and take direct part in combat, while the girls are sexually abused by rebel commanders.
Walitukamata mimi na ulitizeni na nani na Jibilia Mzembe. Nitembea siku mbili mjini. Nitembea siku ya kwanza nikakutana na mbebi mwenjia akakimbia.
These young boys between 11 to 14 years were taken under duress and in ignorance of the consequences. The use of children in armed conflict is the worst form of child labor, a violation of human rights, and a war crime.
The foundation does a lot of rehabilitation for people that have been caught up in armed conflict. Their families, those have been fighters, formers, they're handed over. We work closely with the government of Uganda and Amnesty Commission when they hand them over for us to spend a program with us of 3 months.
The Allied Democratic Forces ADF is an insurgent group with Ugandan roots that has been operating mainly in Ituri and North Kivu provinces in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo.
Serious steps being taken by the president and the army until when we achieve our strategic end state of degrading the ADF capacity to make war like we did to Kony. That's when we shall leave Eastern DRC.
A number of boys and girls have for some time been recruited into ADF rebel ranks in Eastern DRC, collaborate with some wrong Congolese elements for their survival.
Hawako wengi wenye silaha walikuwa walishatokea, tulikuwa tunabaki wanawake na watoto ndio tulikuwa wengi, na wanaume ni majority, sio wazima.
Allied Democratic Forces ADF armed conflict in Eastern DRC is the worst form of child labor in the Great Lakes region.
Most of them are handed over when they have diseases, or they've been in the field or in the forest, so they're malnourished. So we treat the body, we treat the mind.
UPDF and Congolese federal forces rehabilitate, support and provide hope to the rescued young boys and girls.
The Ugandans, we also come out with the process with the non-government organization. We come out with the process of rehabilitation. Once they are rehabilitated, we take them back to the community wherever they have come from.
These young boys and girls were skilled after being rescued from the Allied Democratic Forces ADF rebels in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo jungles.
The first thing we do is psychosocial rehabilitation, dealing with the mind and the conscience of this individual who has been a victim or who has been a combatant.
Spiritual counseling, we are calling it spiritual counseling, but it's de-radicalization in a way. So we expose them to the true interpretation of the Quran.
We thank the Almighty who saved us through the government of Uganda.
Rehabilitated them and then reunited them with their families.
Bridgeway Foundation and Uganda People's Defense Forces provide psychosocial healing process support to assist the healing process of these former ADF captives.
Through the government of Uganda, UPDF, where we joined a rehabilitation center for 3 months.
Once killed and rehabilitated, the victims are given financial support as capital and reunited with their families.
Any abductee who has been rescued from the bushes have come out. They generally will never want to go back.
Both Uganda and DRC National Child Policy upholds the children's rights and protect them from all forms of abuse, exploitation, and violence. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
The Lions Clubs International partnered with the World Food Programme this week to donate food relief in schools in Karamoja sub-region in order to fight hunger. This was revealed at the 21st Multiple District Convention held in Entebbe, where the government of Uganda committed to offer a conducive environment to enable NGOs continue a helping hand to marginalized groups. Details in this report.
According to a global report on the food crisis that was released on 24th April this year, 282 million are experiencing acute hunger in 2023, a worldwide increase of 24 million from the previous year. Meigak Abdurrahman, the representative from the World Food Programs, while delivering his keynote address on fighting hunger in the 21st century, said climate change continues to raise havoc in East Africa, which resulted in hunger as a big crisis to Africa.
For 4 consecutive years, the proportion of people facing food acute insecurity has remained persistently high. Intensified conflict and insecurity, the impacts of economic shocks, the effects of extreme weather events are continuing to drive acute food insecurity.
In response to the existing challenge, Lions Club committed to inject $1 million in partnership with the World Food Programme to donate food relief in schools in Karamoja region. According to Dr. Dans Naturinda, the chairperson organizing committee for the convention, Lions have 5 major causes they focus on addressing hunger in Karamoja to reduce on the number of school dropouts.
The World Food Programme with $1 million, which is supposed to feed over 260,000 children in Karamoja. The project starts in July this year and it's going to run for 1 year. Now, during that 1 year, in addition to feeding the children, we're also going to empower the schools to be able to produce more food.
Our motto is that we serve. We always focus on serving the less privileged, and we've done quite a lot in Uganda here as I talk. We are working on a comprehensive eye care project in Zambia.
This year's 21st convention has today officially opened by the Minister for General Duties from the Office of the Prime Minister, Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, who represented Vice President. The Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, lauded the Lions Clubs International for tireless efforts in supporting humanitarian lives and appreciated the partnership that aims at helping the Karamoja region.
No government can offer 100% service, but you come in to fill up gaps touching people's hearts. As government of Uganda, we remain committed to offer a conducive environment so that you also, as Lions, can come to serve and fill up gaps.
In this convention, themed A Better 21st Century Lions Club International, members expect to handle on youth issues and refugee host communities and on how to integrate with local communities. They are now reviewing the performance of the last 1 year and plan for the next year and elect the new leaders. I'm Nafka Farida and Sulaka Gugube.
A strategic alliance has emerged among key state agencies to promote global value addition within Emyoga circles to enhance competitiveness of locally made products in the global market. Now, Uganda Revenue Authority, Uganda National Bureau of Standards, Uganda Registration Services Bureau, and the Microfinance Support Center have joined forces to champion Emyoga SACCOs in Western Uganda. More details in this report.
A consortium of state agencies including Uganda Revenue Authority, Uganda National Bureau of Standards and Uganda Registration Services Bureau has launched a comprehensive sensitization campaign aimed at promoting Emyoga savings and credit cooperatives in Western Uganda. This campaign targets Emyoga SACCOs, emphasizing their role in enhancing local products' competitiveness in the global market. During the campaign launch, RDC and RCC of Mbarara hailed the Microfinance Support Center for its efforts, saying the initiative is timely.
It's about promotion of saving culture. That's why every Emyoga must have an association beginning from every parish. And all the savings are marshaled up to the single SACCO in every constituency.
Sell our products cheaply because we don't add value. And you cannot keep them for some time. And when you add value, you can even take these products outside the country and earn money.
Representatives from the participating state agencies emphasize the need for cooperatives to add value to their products and adopt best practices and quality standards.
We've also realized that we need to calibrate the equipment you're using. You're making bread, when you're weighing the flour, the wheat flour, your weighing scale must be able to give you the weights.
Microfinance Support Center emphasized the importance of equipping SACCO members with the necessary skills, knowledge, and resources to thrive economic transformation.
Addition ndicho turukwenda omumyoka kandi chinkwenda kubahameza abarabe barede rahamwe niza kumakinga sure ngo buyambi bwono muri kwetaga kugera ngutu kore entunguka omu Uganda iri kwija kutuhereza emirimo kandi katuhereza n'ebintu by'obugiga government iri committed kandi neza kukikora.
Participants are optimistic that this engagement will be fruitful.
We are very grateful to have got this training, especially to finance officers, to the RDC of Mbarara region and other microfinance officials who have equipped us with a lot of knowledge to support our program of Emyoga.
As we have learned, we are going to work very hard and we see that we register.
The campaign's success hinges on continued support, partnership, and commitment from all stakeholders, including government agencies, financial institutions, and the business community. Through sustained efforts and collective action, Emyoga SACCOs in Western Uganda are poised to contribute significantly to economic development, job creation, and market diversification in the region. Mario Nawori and Susan Nabugude for UBC.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO of Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja Luo segment. Learn about the famous legend of Jipiri and Labongo and how the Alur, Acholi, Jonam and Japadola Jaluo emerged.
The Luo are basically Nilotic.
We are believed to have come from Baragazel in the Sudan.
When this colonialism came,
Rorawit saved the life of many Acholi. Fought fiercely.
Awich was imprisoned here on that hill, Kololo.
Awich remained the greatest hero in Acholi.
premiering on Saturday the 20th of April 2024, 3 to 8 p.m. at Ndere Center. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko pamoja?
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC Weekly Roundup News Edition, the bulletin that brings you those stories that made news, top news to be exact, within this week. Now, government was tasked to consider registration of farmers' local seed varieties in the national and regional seed catalogue. This call was made by different partners and stakeholders, including farmers, who showcased some of the contributions of small-scale farmers towards biodiversity and conservation. We had a detailed report made for you.
National and regional seed catalogue as a seed regulation has sparked heated debate at local and international forum in recent years. Farmers have made significant contributions to development, management and conservation of a diverse range of crop varieties, but national seed regulation typically focuses only on crop varieties produced by the formal seed system. Article 9 of the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture recognizes farmers' contributions to the conservation and development of plant genetic resources, and states that governments are responsible for protecting farmers' rights in accordance with their needs and priorities.
Today kunkole yaffe edda tija kutuyamba nnyo okukuuma ebintu byaffe bino kati ng'ebijanjaalo ng'ebyo byayogeddeko nga bya mutiki kati byabula so singa twali tubikuuma nga tumanyi nti bya mugaso singa kati bikyaliwo.
Samakula Emmanuel, a peasant farmer in Sebobo village, Busunju Town Council, Mitana District, says their efforts are still not recognized by various actors like researchers, academia and policymakers.
Tuleme kukola ki okubizaanyaawo oba teeka lirijja tusanga tukyali n'ebijanjalo byaffe ebyo bwe tova ko kigenda kujja wabula nyweza kyokola ki kyolina nga bagamba nti kyolina mu mukono gwo ekimu kizinga ekumi eripaapaala.
Farmers' varieties are often appreciated for their attractive characteristics for both producers and consumers, such as adaptability to harsh climate conditions and high nutritional values.
Edda mbuto bwaffe abanga nti ennyingi ng'obusa bukola bulungi buki nakati bukola.
The farmer seed systems contribute to about 80% of the seeds to the farming communities in Uganda, with farmers' varieties being passed from generation to generation. Akim Baraine, the chairperson, Eastern and Southern Africa Small Farmers Forum Uganda, underscores the growing interest and efforts among different stakeholders to push for recognition and registration of farmers' varieties in terms of origin and unique attributes C.
Because when you are not registered, you cannot even multiply. But the most important thing is business. Our seed is not allowed in the market. When you are found selling the farmer seed, it is illegal and criminal. We believe that when they are registered, we shall be able to also be able to market and sell our seed in the open shops or open places where they are supposed to be, rather than to keep it for our own consumption.
Among the different actors that have embarked on the journey to justify the need for recognition of farmers' varieties is Oxfam.
So through different approaches like the Farmer Field School, farmers are in position to produce seeds, to multiply seeds, and even use it over time. Still, through partners, Oxfam has established community seed banks that help farmers to store their seed where they can easily access it and utilize it.
Unlike the small-scale farmers' limited understanding of the varieties' genetics, the breeders are always equipped with plant genetic information, and this is where the informal seed systems get challenged. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Ebiseera by'okuzzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. simanyi kuzunga na banka siripsi kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo, nyiga bunyezi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
And now in the world of sports from this week, in the ICC T20 Women's World Cup Global Qualifiers, Uganda's women's senior team, the Victoria Pearls, managed to recover from their humiliating loss in the opening game to defeat the US by 8 wickets in their second game played at Sheikh Zayed Stadium, Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates. Grace Joyce Kimigisa, our sports correspondent, or should I say reporter, gives us more.
Of joy, relief and hope filled the Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi as the Victoria Pearls walked off the pitch after defeating USA by 8 wickets in their second game at the ICC T20 Women's World Cup Global Qualifiers. The ladies lost the toss and were elected to field, limiting USA women to 110 runs for 5 wickets in 20 overs. In the second innings, though the Pearls suffered 2 quick wickets of Proskovia Alako and Esther Irokol, it was Immaculate Naksui, 68 runs for 64 balls, and Stephanie Nampina, 33 runs from 27 balls, all not out, who took the bull by the horns, securing Uganda a much-needed 8 wickets win with 10 balls to spare. Immaculate Naksui's exceptional performance with the bat won her the Player of the Match award.
Our game against Scotland didn't go well because we had a very our fielding display was bad, and that's something that we worked on. And to come to the USA game, if you had an opportunity to watch or follow the game, the girls did a very amazing job on the field. The bowlers bowled in very good lines. They bowled in partnerships, and then another thing, when it came on to bat, we had a very good partnership from Stephanie and Immaculate coming on to score 50 plus runs, and that's what helped us get on the mark. The win has helped give the players a little bit of confidence. The players are in a happy mood. They now believe that they can put up a good fight with any team that comes against them. I think it has boosted our morale, it has given us confidence, and I hope that we shall carry the same energy, the same momentum into the Thailand game.
We managed to get our first win against US in our second game. I think that builds the team, 5 in the camp, and which is something we want to see as the technical bench. It was also good to see some batters put up their hands for the team and showing a good fight. That was Immaculate Nachisui and Stefan Nampin having a partnership of over 100. That was nice to see, and at least it builds confidence within the batters. Then when it comes to the bowling, at least it's good to see some bowlers stick to the team plans, bowling straight, stump, and the field as a whole, backing up the whole bowling plans. And I think it builds good momentum when it comes to the next game against Thailand.
I'm happy for the win against USA, and I'm happy to have contributed to the team's win at large. I had belief in the rest of the players that were coming into bat because I believe in them, and we believe in them as a team.
This is the first win for Uganda in this competition, and it puts Uganda third on the table of 5 with 2 points and 2 games to play. First lot in the World Cup, Uganda needs to finish second in the group stages, move to the semi-finals, and then finish in the finals. The Victoria Pearls are back in action on Monday, 29th April 2024 against Thailand, and the game will be under the lights. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
And then in golf, Robinson Mwenda has been crowned overall winner of the Apple Stanbic Uganda Golf Club monthly mug after scoring a net of 66 in the competition. The monthly mug, held this Saturday at the golf course in Kampala, Chitante, had over 200 golfers take Part from Uganda and Nakuru in Kenya. Other notable winners were Paul Nwagaba, 72 net, Sam Sekaja, 70 net, Peace Kabasweka, 72 net, and Susan Tashobia, 71 net, among others. At the 19th hole, the club celebrated General George Owinyo, who is relocating to Kenya and hence leaving the club.
The captain's bill that will be coming up soon, and you're all invited. The team from Nakuru, the team from Dubai, the team from Nairobi, you're all invited for the captain's bill. As your captain, I'm incredibly proud of the dedication and passion that each of you has brought.
Yes, and in our last story today, Dr. Okia Henry Stanley, the Secretary Education Chira, has called on learners of Masozi Primary School to use their talents to achieve the best at all levels. He said this during the Sports Day held in Bukasa, Chirinya, where the learners showcased talents in different sports disciplines. The participants included color yellow, red, green, and blue, and the outstanding learners were awarded with medals, and color green emerged the overall winner of the trophy.
If you want to become the best in the world, there are two things. You make sure you use co-curricular activity like this one to perfect your talent. In football, in running, music, dance, and drama, which you'll be doing, you will be the best. Some people think when you get a degree in other subjects is when you are the best. No. There are no engineers are not better than the best players in football, the runners, and so on. All of you who are in primary 7 up to primary 1. And not forgetting the teachers. Mr. Director, here you can see without the teachers and other people, these people would not have managed to do what they have done. So it's important, children, clap teachers. And also other people who have been here, clap them. Yes, tomorrow you'll be proud like those they have given medals. That I was given a medal. There is no achievement which is very small. Any achievement you get is a very big achievement. And thank you very much once again, the directors, for spending money to buy these gold medals for these people. You will have that in your life.
Managed to get 300.
Well, just watching that piece, I can't help but say I'm so proud of Mr. Okia Henry Stanley. That's the gentleman that actually was my headmaster in my primary school, and I'm happy to see that he is still going strong, passing out children from primary level. A big shout out to you, Mr. Okia Henry Stanley. And that brings us to the end of our weekly news roundup. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and stay tuned for more news in our subsequent bulletin.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.